Hi folks, you're with Tacitus today, your pushback channel, and thank you for joining this live stream. In this essay, I'd like to talk about Western citizens, Indigenous citizens of the West, and what some may say is a complete loss of faith. Faith in our country, faith in our institutions, faith in our government, faith in our media, just a complete loss of faith in the education sector. And this loss of faith is coming from different directions and sort of, if you like, meeting in the middle to represent an aggregation, a complete loss of faith across most of the population, if not all the population at the moment. Now, the globalists are pushing this because they don't want a confident, cohesive society in place anywhere in the West, because that'll push back against the globalist project. And the globalist project it's impossible for them to sell it. No one's going to fucking buy it. So the only way they can get the globalist project put in place is to crush all opposition. And to do that, they try and undermine all our institutions. So there's a complete loss of confidence and faith in the West, in our countries, and again in our institutions and so on. Faith was very strong there for certainly 95% of the population. Now you're hard to find anyone who's got any faith. And what sacrifices are they prepared to make to protect this country, to protect society, to protect the common good and their neighbours and the folks down the street and so on? Not very much is my take. There was a recent survey in the United States where I think they surveyed Democrat voters, and I think somewhere in the region of 65 to 70% of Democrat voters said that they wouldn't defend the United States if it was attacked, invaded and attacked. And now some people were sort of there, were shocked. Oh, goodness me, wow. Oh, no. I'm not. That's pretty much as, in fact, I'm surprised it's not even higher than that. So why is that? Let's look at why people, not only in the United States, but in Britain, Australia and elsewhere around the West, may not take up arms. There'd be some, but may not take up arms. And if they say were conscripted, they'd be so half-assed and half-hearted about it that they might as well not have bothered. So I think it's going to be something along those lines. If the West is invaded, I just don't see that people are believe in themselves or their country or their nation anymore. Now, would people go to war for the rights of a lesbian skating park or transgender bathrooms? Of course they wouldn't. No one's going to go to fucking war over that. Or defend against. So if a politician gets up, well, we're getting invaded by those guys over there, and we're going to fight back because we want lesbian skating parks. We want the rainbow flag. We want transgender bathrooms. So take out weapons and you get out there, paint your fingernails pink, and you kick some ass. Lesbians at the front. That isn't going to happen. Let's not kid ourselves. So why is everyone, or certainly the majority, lost faith? Well, let's look at the divorce courts. Men are routinely treated like shit. They're evil Hitler, fascist, Nazi oppressors of women and children, wife bashers, child abusers. They're just about everything that's bad. Ideologically, they're just evil. That's all there is to it. Straight white males are fucking evil. And the nuclear family just has to be done away with. That's evil too, because lesbian Marxists say so. But also it gets in the way of the globalist project. Strong, cohesive families make cohesive societies and well-bonded societies. And that just makes it really tough for the globalists to get their project through. So they've got to undo all that. And they've been hard at it for, decades now, and have had, you can't deny their success at it. They've really made the nuclear family a kind of an option now rather than a go-to. So those sort of men, and I know some of these men have been absolutely ruined through the divorce courts. And so, would you take up arms to defend the country? You've got to be fucking kidding. This is the country that sold me down the river. This is the country that stole my houses. This is the country that stole my wealth. That I had to pay alimony for years. I've never recovered for that financially. Why the fuck am I going to take up arms if the country gets invaded. What, to defend that system? Defend the system that does that to me and men and other men that I know? No fucking way. So all right then. So there's millions of them out there, so that's not going to go too well. All right then. Let's look at kids who've come through college, say over the last 10 to 15 years, probably a bit longer, but around that. As far as they're concerned, the slavery, global warming, and misogyny and racism are the big issues. So they've got no confidence. America and the West and Britain and Australia is evil. It's bad, Nazi, fascist, Hitler, white people, and there's nothing good here. It's all evil. Every bit of it's evil. So they're not going to take up arms. Well, why the fuck would they protect something that's so evil? Hitler! Why would they do that? Of course they're not going to. Apart from that, they're a bunch of pansies anyway. So they're not going to do it. So are the lesbians going to run out front? No, that's someone else's job to do the fighting. Hey, take it easy. We're ideological warriors. We're not going to go in the front line. Yeah, motherfucker, get another idea. So that's not going to happen. So now we've got the people that the elites particularly sneer at with utter contempt, dripping from their voice and their words. That's the lower white working class, the broom pushers and the road diggers and that sort of thing. They'll send those boys out to do it, and they'll be grateful for all that. Well, not grateful, they won't. They'll just send them out to die, which is really their role. Their role is to roll over and die. Either way, whether it's to roll over for the globalist project or to go and get themselves killed in some a battle or battles to protect the interests of the globalist anyway. So there's that. So those people, but really, there's nobody who's going to professional science aside, maybe there's no one I can see or find who sees. A government does nothing but tell us how bad and evil and horrible we are, how racist we are, misogynist we are, how we don't appreciate climate change enough. We're terrible to women and children. So the straight white males who would be the ones that you would go to for vigorous protection and defence, very few of them are going to. I believe very few of them are going to lift a finger. And again, if they're drafted, it'll be like France in World War II. They'll just go down like a deck of cards. They won't put up any worthwhile opposition. Countries that do believe in themselves and where the government doesn't tell them that they're evil every fucking day, they've got a much, much better chance, like Russia and China and so on. But the West, I don't think. So they're coming back to this survey or questionnaire. 65-70% of Democrats, I think it was, won't take up arms to defend the country, or wouldn't go to any effort to defend the country. I'm surprised not higher. And I'd like to see the precise question that was phrased or how it was phrased and put to the respondents. But I'm surprised not higher. And I don't think the West has got the confidence in itself and the faith in itself. I think it's been a complete loss of faith. I mean, look at the way, during COVID, look at the way all Western governments went after the Christian churches. I mean, it was absolutely single-minded and focused. They were absolutely focused on it all across the Western world. So it was obviously a globalist thing because, Christianity and Christians, whether they be fervent or practicing on Sundays or simply have Christian conscience type beliefs, they're again, they're prime opposition to the globalists, and they've got to go. So the globalists have to weaken our societies, our nations, so that there's no opposition. No one's prepared to question or push back against the globalist project. So that's what I think. That's what's destroyed the faith in all Western society. And I think if it came to an invasion or a military incursion of some sort, I think there'd be hardly any pushback. I think whoever sort of walks in the door is just going to be able to take what they want, and there's just not enough faith and confidence in Western society anymore to put up a decent struggle. So That's my. But I'd like to see your thoughts, and please put them below, and let me know what you think. You've been with Tacitus today, your pushback channel, and thank you for listening.